So the United States has had enough. We've had enough of all these other countries playing these different games that could potentially pull us closer to a world war. And so because of that, the United States has finally issued their final warning to Iran and Iranian proxies. Stop attacking ships in the Red Sea. Stop attacking Israel. Let it go. Let's let this conflict in the Middle East, let's let it just subside. But if they don't, then the United States and our allies are going to take military action. That is what they have warned, and they're not going to give another warning. Well, at least according to reports. So, we're going to go through this, explain what the United States is likely going to do moving forward. I will address what's going on here, how this is going to impact you. All I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So at first, the attacks in the Red Sea were something that we were looking into. These were things that the Pentagon was somewhat concerned with. However, the United States and our allies were not extremely worried because this was not something that we've really seen before. Why would the Yemen Houthis attack ships going in and out of the Red Sea? It made absolutely no sense. Well, they've tried to make it make sense by saying that they're only attacking ships going to and from Israel. But that's not the case. So, this is what's happening at this time. The United States and our allies give the Houthis an ultimatum to stop the ship attacks or face consequences. And the American military is ready and has options at this time. According to Pentagon officials, they have given President Biden multiple different options and scenarios in order for us to attack certain buildings or areas. And President Biden has never opted for that. But now he is saying that he is ready and he is willing to attack if we need to. So, this is their final warning. Now, I want to show you just a few things, okay? First off, the United States is seeking to contain the Iranian proxies as concerns about a wider Middle East war breaking out are increasing. What is happening at this time is that President Biden and the Biden administration are getting more almost threats from other countries that we need to step up. That other countries do not have the military presence that the United States has. So if another small country were to say that they are going to step up their attacks on these Yemen Houthis, it's not going to do much. Iran won't be scared. The Houthis won't be scared. Nobody's going to be scared unless the United States steps up. That's what we're hearing. Now, I want to read you a few statements, okay? This is a statement issued by more than a dozen nations. They all signed this. It says, ongoing Houthi attacks in the Red Sea are illegal. They're unacceptable and profoundly destabilizing. It goes on to say, the Houthis will bear the responsibility of the consequences should they continue to threaten lives, the global economy, and free flow of commerce in the region's critical waterways. Now, the United States is prepared to strike these Iranian-backed militias. They're also prepared to strike Iran. Here's what we're hearing. First off, it is very difficult to strike the Yemen Houthis in Yemen, and the reason why is because their weapon systems are mostly mobile. They move. That's a problem. But the statement says, should the U.S. and Britain and other nations use force, potential targets could include launchers for anti-ship missiles and drones, targeting infrastructure such as coastal radar installations and storage facilities for munitions. That's what we're hearing at this time. Again, the reason why we're getting so much pushback from other countries and companies is simple. Because we are now starting to see our supply chain is getting disrupted. And if you remember, back in 2020, 2021, the reason why we saw inflation, and it really was 2021, 2022, the reason why we had so much inflation was because of our supply chain. It was disrupted, right? But most people were saying, no, it's because of the money supply. No, that was partially it, but it was because of our supply chain. The supply of products went down, demand, because everyone was at home, went up. So it was more expensive. Guess what? That's exactly what's happening, because right now, one of the larger shipping companies in the world, Maersk, they warn of major disruptions as it diverts ships away from the Red Sea. This is not the only company doing that. Okay, Hapag-Lloyd is doing the same thing. Other companies are doing the exact same thing. They're not shipping any product through the Red Sea because of what the Yemen Houthis are doing. Okay, with that said, these companies and these economies that are going to be impacted because of this, these countries are now sending the Biden administration messages, sending them letters, letting them know that we have to do more to protect the sanctity of the Red Sea. We have to protect these other countries, because if not, they're going to feel the effects. And if other countries start to feel the effects, that could likely trickle over to the United States. And that is not something that President Biden wants. So, what does this mean going forward? Well, here's what I can tell you. The concern is that the Yemen Houthis are not scared of the United States. And why would they be? They shouldn't be scared of President Biden. He hasn't done anything to scare them off. That's where the Pentagon says we have to act using force. We have to do this, and we need to do it soon. Because, and here's the concern, if we do not act using force now and let the Yemen Houthis be the first one to respond, the problem is it could take down a major ship. If it does, that could potentially cause another war. If we see another war on the lower half in Yemen, okay, the bottom half of the Red Sea, that's going to be a bigger conflict in the Middle East. And one thing that we need to be concerned with is really expanding this conflict. We can't have that, because if we do, it's going to pull more countries in, and this is where some are saying this brings us closer to World War III. So, as of right now, all I know is President Biden says if U.S. troops are targeted or U.S. bases are targeted, that the United States will respond. But, according to Pentagon officials, we should respond no matter what, so that we are not the one responding to an attack, but we are the one acting first, so that we do not feel the brunt of this. But we'll see moving forward what happens. All I can tell you is that is what we know as of right now. So, as soon as we know more information, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.